You want to be able to identify the kidney. That's this brownish kidney-shaped thing. The outer part of it, just the outer strong, just very thin edge, is the capsule. Okay, and then on the inside, this outer part, but on the inside, is the adrenal cortex. This white part, shaped like a pyramid, is the adrenal medulla. All of these together are the adrenal medulla. Now, they show these little bumps here as the adrenal medulla as well, or the pyramid, because that's the direction of a different pyramid kind of poking through. So all you see is just the little pucker of the point of the pyramid. So that's what they're talking about with these little bumps. But it's easier to see it on these. If you look at it from the side, this is shaped more like a pyramid. So all of these together would be the medulla, and all of this outer edge, and the little bit that goes down between the pyramids, that's the cortex. And this part of the cortex is called the renal column. At the very tip of the pyramid, this grayish part is the papilla, because papilla means nipple-like projection, and so that's just the bump. And again, this is the bump from another one kind of sticking out. Back here behind everything is the renal sinus, and that's just kind of unused space. It's not inside the tube, but it's not part of the pyramid, so it's just kind of back here, everything else. Hilus, in the kidney, where everything enters and exits in an organ, is called the hilus or the hilum. Same thing. Let's see, we did the cortex. This is all pretty much big structure. Then we have, for each of these pyramids, we have a minor calyx. So each one of these parts of the tube at the end of each of these pyramids is a minor calyx. Then they join together, like these two have joined together in this bigger region. This is a major calyx. These two have joined together. This is a major calyx. And then where they all come together, this is the renal pelvis. And then right before it leaves as the ureter, that's the renal pelvis. And then this is the ureter. The ureter is the tube that goes down to the bladder. And here's the bladder going into, or the ureter going into the bladder. So these two areas here are where the ureters open into the bladder. And then this point here is where the urethra leaves the bladder. So between these 3 points, we have a triangle-shaped area called the trigone in the wall of the bladder. And the bladder itself is just a muscular bag. The wall of the bladder is made of a muscle called the detrusor muscle. And on the inside of the bladder, when it's relaxed, it has all these ripples. And those ripples are called rugae, just like the inside of the stomach. Okay? Now this is male, so you have a prostate. Just as you exit the bladder, this urethra goes through the prostate. So this is called the prostatic urethra. And then it goes through a muscle layer. And we don't really see it, but it would be the membranous urethra. There's a muscle band. And then it goes through the entire penis, and that's called the spongy urethra. But that's about all we can see here. Here's the prostate. This little white thing on the bottom.
It's like a beak of a bird.
It does, kind of, on this model. Normally, it's about the size of a golf ball, a healthy prostate. But as guys get older, it tends to swell and get bigger. And that puts pressure on the urethra and makes it hard for them to urinate. And that's about all you can see on this model. This is the adrenal gland, right? This is that endocrine gland that has the adrenal cortex and the adrenal medulla. The adrenal cortex makes hormones dealing with salt, sugar, and sex. And the adrenal medulla right in the center is going to deal with and put out epinephrine and norepinephrine.